You've probably been in this situation before. You're talking to a woman, everything feels normal. The words, the jokes, the conversation. But deep down, something feels different. Her eyes linger a little longer. Her smile lasts a second too much. Her energy shifts the moment you enter the room. And you start to wonder, and is this in my head? Or is she actually attracted to me? Most men will spend their entire lives trapped in that state of uncertainty, second-guessing themselves into inaction. They are deaf and blind to the most powerful language in the world. Not the language of words, which are so often used to conceal and confuse, but the language of the human body, the language of pure, unfiltered subconscious desire. You see, modern society has taught you to be a logical creature. You listen to what people say. You analyze syntax. You wait for a clear verbal yes before you make a move, and that is precisely why you are failing. Because you are trying to understand a woman's art with a mathematician's formula. You are bringing a calculator to a poetry reading. Attraction is not born in the neocortex, the part of the brain that handles logic and language. It is born in the limbic system, the ancient primal core of our being that governs emotion, instinct, and survival. This part of the brain doesn't speak English. It speaks in blushes, in dilated pupils, in the subtle angling of the hips, in the nervous fidget of a hand. It is the most honest part of her, and it is constantly broadcasting her true feelings for the entire world to see. The problem is you haven't been taught how to tune into the right frequency. Today, that ends. You are about to learn how to bypass her words and plug directly into her subconscious. You are about to become fluent in the secret language of female attraction. We will not be talking about cheesy pickup lines or manipulative tricks. This is a masterclass in emotional intelligence and human psychology. We are going to decode the 7 primary channels of her subconscious broadcast. These are the signals her limbic brain sends out when she is in the presence of a man she is genuinely, deeply, and physically drawn to. Once you learn to see these patterns, you will never be able to unsee them. The world will transform from a place of confusing ambiguity into a crystal-clear map of human desire. You will no longer have to guess. You will simply know. So take a deep breath, silence your logical mind, and prepare to have your perception of reality permanently altered. Let's begin with the most powerful and most misunderstood channel of all. Her eyes. The poets were right when they called them the windows to the soul, but they are more than that. They are the high-definition projectors of her inner world. Men who don't understand this make a critical mistake. They look for a single signal, like a lingering stare. But it's not a single stare. It's a dance. We call it the ocular dance, and it has several distinct steps. The first and most primal sign is pupil dilation. When we are looking at something we desire, whether it's a delicious meal or a person we are attracted to, the black centers of our eyes involuntarily expand. It's a biological response tied directly to the release of dopamine and norepinephrine in the brain. It is utterly impossible to fake. You could be talking about the most boring topic imaginable, but if you look closely and see her pupils widen, her brain is screaming what her mouth will not. I want more of this. I am stimulated by your presence. The second step in this dance is what we call the triangular gaze. In a normal, platonic conversation, a person's gaze will typically move in a small triangle between your eyes and your forehead. This is the social gaze, Rainer. It's polite, it's safe, it's friendly. But when attraction enters the equation, that triangle shifts downwards. Her gaze will move from your one eye to your other eye, and then drop down to your lips before returning to your eyes.
Eye, mouth.
This is not a conscious decision. Her limbic brain is instinctively drawn to your lips, the focal point of intimacy and kissing. She is, on a subconscious level, imagining what it would be like to kiss you. If you see this triangular gaze happen more than once, it is one of the most reliable indicators of romantic interest you will ever get. It's a silent confession. The final step is the glance away and back. A woman who is not interested will break eye contact and her gaze will wander around the room, looking for a distraction or an escape route. But a woman who is attracted to you will do something very specific. She will meet your gaze, feel a jolt of nervous energy, and quickly look away, often downwards, in a submissive gesture, and then, crucially, her eyes will dart right back to yours, almost as if to check if you're still looking. This is the telltale sign of approach avoidance conflict. Her logical brain says, "Don't be too obvious," but her primal brain cannot resist the magnetic pull of your gaze. It's a game of peekaboo that signals she is both intimidated and intrigued by you, a potent cocktail of attraction. The counter-signal to all of this is what I call the polite but vacant stare. Her eyes are on you, but there's no energy behind them. There's no pupil dilation, no dropping to your lips. Her focus is shallow. She is looking at you, but she is not seeing you. That is the look of polite tolerance, not quiet craving. Now let's move to the second channel, the kinesthetic bridge, or the language of touch. Touch is the most fundamental and primitive form of communication. Long before we had language, we had touch. It builds comfort, rapport, and most importantly, it releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. A woman who is attracted to you will unconsciously find reasons to break the touch barrier. She is building a bridge into your personal space. These touches are often disguised as socially acceptable accidents. The classic example is her touching your arm or shoulder while laughing at something you said. The laugh provides the perfect excuse, the social cover for what is actually an exploratory mission. She is testing the waters. How do you react? Do you flinch away or do you accept the touch? This escalates into different forms of touch. There's the accidental brush where she unintentionally bumps into you or her leg brushes against yours while sitting. The key here is the lack of retraction. If it were a true accident, she would likely apologize and pull away. But if she lets the touch linger for just a beat too long, it was no accident. It was a probe. Then there's the grooming gesture. This is a powerfully intimate sign. She might reach out and pick a piece of lint off your sweater, fix your collar, or brush a stray hair from your forehead. This mimics the grooming behaviors seen in pair bonding animals. It's a deeply ingrained, almost maternal instinct that signals a desire to care for you and claim you, even in a small way. She is treating you as if you are already hers. The most crucial element here is to observe the pattern. One accidental touch is just that, an accident. But if you notice a pattern of her initiating small, seemingly insignificant touches, she is not being clumsy. She is methodically, subconsciously, building a physical bridge between her world and yours. The counter-signal is a complete and total respect for your personal space. She maintains a noticeable distance. If you accidentally brush against her, she may subtly stiffen or pull back. Her body is creating a physical wall, signaling that the bridge is closed for construction. This brings us to our third and perhaps most complex channel, the unspoken invitation, which is the full spectrum of her body language. Her body is a billboard, and if you know how to read it, it will tell you everything you need to know. The first thing to look for is her orientation. In a group setting, pay attention to her feet and her torso. We subconsciously point ourselves in the direction we want to go. If she is truly engaged with you, her feet and torso will be angled towards you. Even if her head is turned to speak to someone else, it's as if her body is tethered to you by an invisible string. If her feet are pointed towards the door, it means her subconscious is already looking for the exit. Next, observe the principle of opening up. A woman who feels safe and attracted to you will literally open her body to you. This means uncrossed arms, uncrossed legs, and exposing vulnerable areas like her neck and wrists. She may tilt her head to the side while you're speaking, exposing her carotid artery. This is a massive sign of trust and submission, a primal signal that says, I feel safe enough with you to expose my most vulnerable point. She may also play with her hair, but not in the way you think. It's not just a random fidget. When she pulls her hair back to expose her neck or twirls it around her fingers, it's a preening gesture designed to draw your attention to her feminine features. The most powerful body language signal, however, is mirroring, or what psychologists call isopraxism. When we feel a deep sense of rapport with someone, we subconsciously mirror their posture and gestures. If you lean forward on your elbows, she will lean forward. If you take a sip of your drink, she will reach for hers a moment later. If you cross your legs, she will cross hers. This is her limbic brain's way of saying, we are the same. We are in sync. We are one. It's an incredibly reliable sign of a deep underlying connection. The countersignal to all of this is closed-off body language. Arms crossed tightly, legs crossed away from you, her body angled towards an escape route. She might create physical barriers like holding her purse or a drink in front of her chest. Her body is a fortress and the drawbridge is up. Now for our fourth channel, the vocal signature. A woman's voice is an incredibly versatile instrument, and it will change its tune dramatically when she's speaking to a man she's attracted to, compared to how she speaks to everyone else. The most common shift is in pitch. Many studies have shown that women will often adopt a slightly higher, more feminine pitch when speaking to a man they find attractive. It's an evolutionary signal of youth and femininity. However, sometimes the opposite can happen. She might drop her voice into a lower, more intimate, almost breathy register. This is an attempt to create a private conspiratorial bubble around the two of you. It's a vocal invitation that says, "This conversation is just for us." Beyond pitch, listen to her laughter. A polite social chuckle is one thing. It's controlled and comes from the throat. But a genuine, heartfelt, deep laugh that engages her whole body is another thing entirely. If she is laughing uncontrollably at your jokes, especially the ones that aren't that funny, she is not just responding to your humor. She is responding to you. Laughter is a sign of being comfortable and letting go of inhibitions. By laughing freely, she is showing you that she feels safe and joyful in your presence. Also, pay attention to her use of your name. In a normal conversation, people rarely use each other's names, but a woman who is attracted to you will often find excuses to pepper your name into the conversation. "That's a really good point, David." Or, "You know, David, I was just thinking." Saying your name creates a micro-thread of intimacy. It separates you from the anonymous you and makes the connection personal. The countersignal here is a flat, monotone, or businesslike vocal delivery. Her responses are short, clipped, and devoid of emotional color. Her laughter is perfunctory. Her voice is a wall, not a welcome mat. The fifth channel is what I call the character witness. This goes far beyond simple compliments. Any woman can say, "Nice shirt," that's a social pleasantry. It means nothing. But a woman who is genuinely attracted to you will compliment your character, not your appearance. She will say things that reveal she has been paying very close attention to you. "I was really impressed with how you handled that difficult situation at work." Or, "You have a really unique way of looking at the world." These compliments are powerful because they are not about what you have, but about who you are. She is signaling that she sees and appreciates your core identity. Even more telling than the compliments she gives are the questions she asks. A woman making polite small talk will ask logistical questions. "Where are you from? What do you do?" A woman who is vetting you as a potential partner will ask emotional and future-oriented questions. "What are you most passionate about in life? What's something you're working towards that really excites you? What kind of life are you trying to build?" These questions are not small talk. They are reconnaissance missions. She is trying to see if your map of the world aligns with hers. She is gathering data to determine if you are someone she could build a future with. The biggest sign in this category is when she remembers tiny, insignificant details that you told her weeks ago. If you casually mentioned your dog's name or a favorite childhood memory and she brings it up later, that is a flashing neon sign. It proves that you are occupying significant mental real estate in her mind. She is not just listening to you, she is studying you. The countersignal is generic conversation. The questions never go beneath the surface. She forgets details you've shared. The conversation feels like an interview for a job she doesn't want. Our sixth channel is the bubble of intimacy. When a woman is truly drawn to you, she will actively try to separate you from the herd and create a private, exclusive world for just the two of you. In a group setting, watch how she positions herself. She might subtly angle her body to create a two-person conversational bubble, effectively shutting others out. She might suggest moving to a quieter part of the bar or stepping outside for some fresh air. This is a deliberate attempt to remove distractions and intensify the connection. This behavior extends into the digital world. The shift from a public forum to a private one is a huge indicator. For example, she responds to your group chat message in a private DM. She shares inside jokes or memes with you that reference a previous one-on-one conversation. She is moving the relationship from the public square to a private room. The speed and enthusiasm of her responses are also a clue. If she consistently responds to your texts or DMs quickly and with engaging, thoughtful answers, she is prioritizing your interaction. She is eager to keep the channel of communication open. This is all about creating a shared reality, a we that is distinct from everyone else. She is building a world that only the two of you inhabit. The countersignal is when she actively keeps you in a group context. If you suggest talking somewhere more private, she might say, "Oh, let's just stay here with everyone." Or she might invite her friends to join you. She is deliberately keeping the interaction in the safe, platonic zone of the group. Her private messages are infrequent, short, or take a long time to be answered. She is keeping you at arm's length. Finally, we arrive at the seventh and most primal channel, the limbic alarm. This is the collection of nervous, fidgety, and energetic signals that her body emits when her arousal system is activated. This is her conscious mind losing control to her subconscious desires. The most obvious sign is blushing. A flush of red on her cheeks or chest is an involuntary rush of blood to the skin caused by social excitement or arousal. It is a biological alarm that she cannot switch off. Alongside this, you will often see a spike in what are called displacement activities or fidgeting. She might play with her jewelry, twirl a straw in her drink, or smooth down her clothes. This isn't a sign of boredom. It's a sign of nervous energy. Her body has a surplus of excited energy, and it has to go somewhere. She is literally buzzing with your presence. This energy also manifests in a heightened state of animation. Her laughter might become louder, her gestures more expressive, her speech faster. You are quite literally making her feel more alive, and her body can't contain the excitement. One of the most misunderstood signals in this category is the playful tease or the shit test. She might make a sarcastic comment, playfully challenge your opinion, or gently mock you. Inexperienced men mistake this for hostility or lack of interest. This is a fatal error. A woman will not bother testing a man she is not interested in. This test is her limbic system's way of asking, are you as strong and confident as you appear? Can you handle a little pressure without crumbling? If you can meet her test with calm, playful confidence, you pass with flying colors and her attraction will skyrocket. The counter signal here is a state of being overly relaxed, almost bored. She might yawn, check her phone, or seem lethargic. Her energy is low and directed elsewhere. There is no nervous tension, no playful testing. Her limbic system is dormant because it has not registered you as a significant stimulus. So now you have the 7 channels: the ocular dance, the kinesthetic bridge, the unspoken invitation, the vocal signature, the character witness, the bubble of intimacy, and the limbic alarm. The key, and this is the most important part, is to never rely on a single signal. A single signal is an anomaly. A cluster of signals is a pattern, and a consistent pattern over time is a confirmation. When you consistently see 3, 4, or 5 of these channels broadcasting the same message, you are no longer in the realm of guesswork. You are in the realm of certainty. The final question, of course, is what do you do with this information? This knowledge comes with a profound responsibility. It is not a tool for manipulation or for feeding your ego. It is a tool for connection. The purpose of reading these signals is not to play games, but to stop playing them. When you see a clear and consistent pattern of attraction, the correct response is not a grand, dramatic confession of your feelings. It is a calm, confident, and gentle escalation. Match her energy. If she touches your arm, you can later find a reason to gently touch her back as you guide her through a doorway. If she seeks a private moment, create one. If her gaze is inviting, hold it with a warm, knowing confidence. And then when the moment feels right, you do what a man does. You lead. You say, I've really enjoyed talking with you. We should do this again. How about we grab a drink on Thursday night? Be direct, be clear, be unambiguous. You are simply acting on the overwhelming evidence she has already provided you. You are meeting her unspoken truth with your spoken one. This is the art and science of attraction. It's about moving beyond the clumsy, noisy world of words and becoming a student of reality. It's about developing the emotional intelligence to hear what is not being said. If this has resonated with you, if you feel like a door has been opened in your mind, then understand that this is only the very first step. Recognizing the signs is one thing. Knowing exactly how to cultivate them, how to build attraction from the ground up, and how to lead with unshakable confidence is another skill set entirely. I've created a private, advanced training program for men who are serious about mastering this. It's called the Masculine Code. In it, we go far deeper than just reading signs. We break down the step-by-step framework for building powerful magnetic attraction from the moment you meet a woman to building a lasting connection. This is not for everyone. It's for men who are ready to stop guessing and start knowing.